What up, YouTube world? Here's the deal on what this whole channel is about. I am BMMFS. I'll tell you what that stands for at a later date. The whole point of this whole deal is that I made the decision to go pro. Actually, I hate that word, pro. Poker professional. To play poker for a living is what I like to say. To make my money from playing poker. I'm going to quit my real job, as a lot of people say, J-O-B, and go to playing poker for a living. So for anybody that is on the fence about it, that's thinking about doing it, that wonders what it's like to play poker for a living, I'm going to keep a journal of my personal experiences. It's not going to be the experiences that everybody will have, but this is my deal. I don't see anybody else out there that's doing it, so I figured I might as well jump in there and do it. I was looking for it for myself, and I can't find anybody on YouTube that's doing it, so hey, here we go. Y'all gonna take the ride with me. I'm gonna give you the details on everything that I'm doing. Just a little background on me. I live in Vegas. I've been in Vegas since January 15th, 2005. Some dates you never forget. That's the day I moved to Vegas from overseas in Japan. I was in the military. Played my first game of poker in that year, I would say. I was going to the casinos, one of the station casinos here, Santa Fe Station. I used to stay all the way on the northwest side of Vegas. If you're from Vegas or you've been to Vegas, you know what I'm talking about. Santa Fe Station, small local casino. Went there, used to play. When I first got here, you know, the whole Vegas thing with gambling got to me. I was playing everything, pretty much. But blackjack and craps, I was married at the time. And me and my wife both liked to play craps. Was doing all that stuff, you know, making money, losing money, the whole Vegas thing till you get burnt out on it. Going every day, just craziness. But then I don't know if I saw WSOP on TV or something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to remember back, but I can't. But anyway, when I was leaving the casino, the way their casino was set up, when you go to the parking garage, you would walk. Used to be before they rearranged and put that big buffet in there and all that stuff and moved the poker room. The old poker room, you used to walk right by it when you were going to the parking garage. And I'd stand there at the rail and watch. You know, I was intimidated because I didn't know how to play the game, what the game was about. But I'd stop and watch almost every time I was leaving. And finally, I saw a little sign that said, you know, come at 9 a.m. in the morning and we give free poker lessons. So I did that one morning. I went 9 a.m. in the morning, and most casinos do that here in Vegas at least. If you're ever on a trip to Vegas, if you go early in the morning, they'll do a free poker lesson because they want you to play. Because, of course, they make money off the rate when you play. The more players they got, the more money they make in theory. So they have an incentive to teach you how to play poker. Just the basics, the betting structures and all that, what the button and the big blind and the small blind and how the betting goes and everything, the basics of how to sit down and play the game. So I did that one morning, sit down. I think it was just me. So it was me one-on-one with one of the dealers doing their rotational break, sit down, and I learned the basics of how to play poker, and I've been playing ever since. So it's been like 5-6 years now that I've been playing. Sometime last year, I was unemployed for most of 2010, since about March 2010, and all I did was live off of unemployment and playing poker. The poker swings, you know, are crazy, and I didn't have a big enough bankroll to absorb, you know, 1 or 2 days of losses, which I learned the hard way you just can't do. You gotta have enough cushion to where you can take a day or two of beats and still be okay. Actually, you need to be able to take like a bad week and have that not crush your bankroll. You need some self-control and some limits in there if you're doing small-time grinding, which is what this is going to be. I don't have no super huge bankroll. I'm not rolling with 50 G's or 100 G's or nothing like that. I go to school full-time right now. I still work full-time. graveyard down on the strip, pulling security at one of the newest casinos, and that is killing my school grade. So I went from a perfect 4.0 down to 3.6, 3.5, and right now, this quarter, I got some bad grades in some classes. I'm not gonna let that happen. So I made a decision this past week that I'm done. I'm pulling chalks, as they would say in the Air Force, or punching out. I'm done. And it was a big, hard decision for me because I just hit my 90-day mark last month. So I got all my benefits. You know what I'm saying? Got insurance and all of that. And I got a little man and everything. And that was a big decision for me on whether, to give up that insurance. And a lot of people told me no. You crazy, don't do it. One of the guys at work that I've actually told about my plan said no, don't do it. Just, go down to part-time, but it doesn't matter if I go down to part-time, I still lose my benefits anyway. He just wanted me to keep my foot in the door. But they told me if I went part-time that I couldn't keep my current position. I was going to have to take another position that I really wouldn't like to do. So, I made the decision that I'm not going to work for anybody else doing something that I'm not passionate about doing. And I'm not passionate about doing security at a casino down on the strip. It's just something that's paying the bills, and I'm not crazy about. I'm crazy about poker and crazy about audio, which is what I currently go to school for. Audio production, recording engineer, acoustics, all of that stuff I really get into. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play poker and go to school full time, keep this video journal, and let you know, what the swings are and what's going on. When I play, I like to play down on the strip. My favorite poker room right now is Aria down at City Center. They got a really good poker room. They got a really good staff that handles situations very well, very professionally, and they take care of their players pretty good. So I played at most of the major casinos down on the strip. Haven't done the old strip, on the old Golden Nugget or anything like that, Horseshoe. But most of the places on South Strip, I've played at. Used to play at the Venetian a lot. They got probably the biggest poker room between them and Bellagio. I think Venetian still got more tables in Vegas, and they spread pretty decent amount of games. But you get a lot of locals there. I'd say if you sit down at a Venetian table, you take the chance of hitting maybe in a nine-seat table, maybe 4. Close to half of the table is probably locals. Whereas you go to Aria, and it's been changing a little bit since their room has been gaining popularity, but you may have two or three locals at the table, especially if you go on like a Friday night when it's jam packed. You can get a lot of tourists, non-locals in there, and that's what I like. Playing against the guys that don't necessarily play poker every day, that don't live in a place like Vegas that has a casino ready. There's a lot of foreign guys that come and play at Aria, and it's good, because they can come in, they can drink, have a good time, lose a couple $100, and it's nothing. It's part of their Vegas experience. But for me, to be able to pick up $100 or a couple $100 a night is a good thing. I'd rather sit at a poker table for a few hours and make $100 or $200 than to go spend my time at a job working 8 hours doing something that I hate doing for that same $100. It just makes sense to me. So that's pretty much everything. This is unscripted, so I apologize if I'm all over the place, but I just wanted to get it done. So I give you the next update as soon as I get it or figure it out. Oh, bankroll wise, I'm gonna be working with about 3,000, a little over $3,000 by the time I'm putting in my 2 weeks tomorrow when I go back to work. And the bosses don't know it yet, but I know it. Putting in my 2 weeks, and I got 30 something hours of paid time off that I'm gonna cash out, either cash out or take. So I'm gonna do that. So that'll bump me up over $3,000 of purely poker bankroll. That was my problem last time too. I was digging out of my bankroll to pay rent and pay bills, and if you're doing that, paying bills out of your poker bankroll, and you have a bad week, you can go from doing okay to being broke. So I've learned now to keep my poker bankroll separate from the rest of my money that's going on, and we're gonna see how we do. So you get to take the ride with me. Another update coming soon. Peace.